Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 24th of October 2018. We're going to reflect on Luke 12:39 to 48. Listen. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour when the thief was coming, he would not have let his house be broken into. You also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect the Son of Man will come." Then Peter said, "Lord, is this parable meant for us or for everyone?" And the Lord replied, "Who then is the faithful and prudent steward whom the master will put in charge of his servants to distribute the food allowance at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master on arrival finds doing so. Truly I say to you, he will put him in charge of all his property. But if that servant says to himself, 'My master is delayed in coming,' and begins to beat the men servants and the maidservants, to eat and drink and get drunk, then that servant's master will come on an unexpected day and at an unknown hour, and will punish the servant severely and assign him a place with the unfaithful. That servant who knew his master's will but did not make preparations nor act in accord with his will shall be beaten severely. And the servant who was ignorant of his master's will but acted in a way deserving of a severe beating shall be beaten only lightly. Much will be required of the person entrusted with much, and still more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more." The Gospel of the Lord. Very often when I preach a retreat, I ask my audience how many people they have brought to Christ in the years that they have known Him. I'd like to ask you the same question today because it is related to the passage we just read. In the years since you have known Jesus, how many people have you brought to Him? 100? Too many perhaps. 90? 80? 70? 60? 50? 40? 30? 20? 10? Still too many? 9? 8? 7? 6? 5? 4? 3? 2? 1? I'll settle for 1. I know the answer for most of us is 0, and that is a tragedy, because one day when we are with Jesus, one of the questions He asks us, and probably the only question He asks us, is, how many people did we bring with us? And what a shame it will be if the answer is nobody. The shame will be even greater if we happen to be a pastor or a priest placed in charge over people, and I know that the answer to that question for many of them is also the same: nobody. Now, it is never my intention in these reflections to shame anybody, but to bring people to an awareness of what Jesus asks and expects of them. And if there is one thing I'm certain about, it is this: Jesus has given us a mandate to make disciples of all nations, and everything else that is needed to achieve this. The Gospel of Mark ends with these words: "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. Whoever believes and is baptized will be saved, but whoever does not believe will be condemned." And then He adds, "These signs will accompany those who believe. In my name they will drive out demons, they will speak in new tongues, they will pick up snakes with their hands, and when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all. They will place their hands on sick people and they will get well." Jesus says that much will be required of the person entrusted with much, and still more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more. He turns from the crowds that He has been talking to and addresses Him specifically to the disciples when He says this. And who are His disciples, if not us, who say that we follow Him? To us has been entrusted much. So if anybody asks us how many people we have brought to Christ, let the answer be a number greater than 0. God bless you.